We have not cast a Songcrafter yet. But this is like a Snapcaster Mage that like kind of discounts the card you're casting. So when it enters, target enters sorcery gains Harmonize, start of turn gains Harmonize equal to its mana cost. So Harmonize allows you to discount a spell by tapping creature and discount the cost equal to its power. So if you target a 5-drop, like a Time Warp or a Lrien Revealed, these cards cost basically 2 after the Songcrafter Mage. So 5 mana, 3/2, take an extra turn is incredibly strong. 5 mana, 3/2, draw 3 cards is pretty good. You also get to go like end of turn Brainsurge. And so the idea is like this is kind of our main win condition in this deck, I guess beyond Jace, but just they give you a bunch of extra turns in the same taking turn shell. Alright, let's put back Hedge Maze and keep second Tamiyo. Kind of got to be it on Vista, I think. I'm also playing Moons in the sideboard, right? Yeah. With the Utopia Sprawl mana base, I think it's pretty nice. Be pretty basic heavy. Also, like when you're... Okay, so Subtlety. Pitch Sink. I think we bottom. Their own Tamiyo, maybe? Alright, well, kind of weird. That's true. Punish if we draw red. Oh yeah, I gotta update the title. Glad you like it, the stream, Weasel. It's very nice of you to take your time to say that. Froggen. So graveyarding this might make a nice Songcrafter turn. Definitely just going to main phase the Brainsurge though. So let's get an upkeep stop so we can shuffle away a land and select as much as we can here. I like drawing the Fire Ice too. We thought of a deck for New Zergo 2 mid. I feel like New Zergo is worse than Alesha, which I never tried. But you would just play it in the Energy Shell, I think, either way. But like, I think like Alesha seems better. Could be misevaluating. Second Frog, do Subtlety, Thoughtseize, Frog. Pretty good. How's this deck kill a frog? We just take a bunch of turns. I think frog matchup's tough, but you kind of go over the top would be the theory. Don't know about the practice. Especially when our opponent has had such a strong hand here. Can ice one. So there goes my plan to Lrien Revealed next turn. Yeah, Teamer's just kind of always going to struggle against Frog, I think. We have some Veil of Summers. We have Fire Ice and Wrenn and Six for Bowmaster. I think I'm cutting 1 Brainsurge, 2 Spirals. Are Bowmasters back? I don't know. Any plans to make a Songcrafter Coco deck? Maybe. You would really need to make sure your Songcrafters are doing things consistently, which seems like that could be a big problem. We could maybe try to moon them on the play. Okay, so I think I'll get the breeding pool this time because of Wrenn and Six, and also maybe I want to Veil Summer next turn and Surveil, although I guess I'm not that likely to take that line. Do you like Flusterstormers with the sideboard of Eldrazi decks playing blue as an answer to Consigns and Stone Rains? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem bad. Definitely doesn't seem like a bad thought. A little bit flooded again. If I get Thoughtseize here, it's going to feel so bad. Okay, thankfully not. What's the land count? 19. Okay. Okay. Kind of doing it. Pretty. Oh, we have the Lrien Revealed, so sorry, so 23 basically. Although we basically hitting Wrenn and Sixes are kind of like lands too. Okay, it's an awesome hit. Now, what are we doing with the Wrenn and Six? I'll need to ping this twice if I'm wanting to... stop the ultimate, but I think we can, plan to do that a little bit later than this. All right, so I think I'll just cash in the first ping now then. Double ping to kill. To kill the Harbinger? I don't care about this Harbinger. I can cast all of my spells. I don't care about that Tamiyo though. I thought I could feel it coming. Okay, so I guess I could have tapped where I had red blue up. All right, let's just keep it going here a little bit. Name red? I think it's better for me to ice than it is for me to fire because I just need... I need more juice here. Okay, so I can't Temporal Mastery this turn. I can Temporal Mastery next turn. I guess the problem with casting the Sprawl here is I can't cast this Wrenn and Six and keep Veil of Summer up for Thoughtseize. So I'm going to name green here, so if they go Thoughtseize with Counterspell up, I can counter. Cool game. Yeah, I haven't worked on a United Battlefront deck yet. I think there's a lot of cool stuff to do with it, but I know Gab was like really interested in it, so I haven't looked at any of his like drafts super closely. I saw one with like Lockdown and Narset and Teferi. But I am interested in working on it. It's just going to take some time. I think if they had 2 counterspells, they would snap off a counterspell here, right? They pick up Preordain with Tamiyo. It's funny you have more color mana. Yeah, I don't need to care about it too much. 2 on the bottom. Yeah, Enchantresses could be a good shell for Battlefront. Okay, so this can be a Time Warp. And it seems better for me to lead on the Songcrafter Mage so that I can... Well... Yeah, so I can start attacking the Planeswalkers. I don't believe Songcrafter ignores timing restrictions. Yeah, it gives the card Harmonize. Which doesn't. Okay, so they've Subtlety pitched Sauron's Ransom, which I can't Veil of Summer Subtlety, so now we're going to go put this on top. Cast Temporal Mastery, which does just resolve. So I guess I could have tapped in a way that I had Wrenn and Six available to cast here, huh? I kind of want a Lrien Revealed. Is that crazy? I think it's probably just correct. Nice. It's working. It's working. So I think we get another Wrenn and Six down. The higher loyalty. And again, I don't care about this Harbinger. If they have a snare and I don't have Veil up, this is kind of bad. I think they're F6 though. Nice. I think it's the 4th Lrien Revealed. We get it, it's Lrien. Okay, so many lands. Okay, so we are done taking turns for now. Oh, I have no lands left of the yard. Thanks to the Harbinger. We got Veil up, I got Tamiyo. I only have 17 cards left in my deck. It's been a very weird game. They play Marsh Flats. They've got 3 cards. They've got a Frog. Frog that can become a 3/4, which is a pretty good size here, but I can ping it to kill it if they discard their other 2 cards. Well, let's block. If they have Bowmaster, we'll Veil in response, although they don't have black mana. Alright, well, easy attack. So if they fly the Frog, I'll draw a Clued in response looking for Fire Ice. No bolts. We have Fire Ice instead. There are 2 Songcrafter Mages here. It's kind of hard to see. Alright, decides no blocks, which I think is probably the correct choice. Does New Ugin go anything that can cast it like this deck? Or does it really want all the colorless payoffs? Well, any deck that can cast it is going to play a lot of colorless spells because it's an Ugin's Labyrinth format. But yeah, we have an Ugin Turns deck that people voted for this one instead. Okay, so this is after my opponent has chosen not to block, they're discarding a Fatal Push. Which doesn't make any sense. And then I think they think that they've blocked, which is kind of awkward because I wish that they had blocked because I would ping the frog. All right, so they're at 9. I'm going to draw a card with the clue token. It's a Songcrafter Mage, which is awesome. Tapping is a little bit weird at the moment, though. Let's do the time warp again. Might get to ultimate the Wrenn and Six. Okay, we do get to ultimate the Wrenn and Six, so that's gonna be GG. Is Songcrafter Mage better than Snapcaster? If you're flashing back 5 mana spells, yes. It's 2 mana and 1 power and 1 toughness better even. If you're doing kind of anything else, no. It's gonna ice the frog. They were dead if I just time warped again. Okay, going to game 3. Yeah, Abzan did really well. You'll never guess how we lost our one loss, but we were 2-1 against Eldrazi. We 4-1 the league. We lost to one of these cards out of Eldrazi. One of these cards beat us game 3 of the Eldrazi opponent we lost to. Yeah, Supreme Epiphany Gearhulk would be so fun. Yeah, they might board out the Harbinger. Well, maybe decide 0 Flame of Honor. Well, I only have 4 wizards. So, if Songcrafter was a wizard, we might play some. But also, we need Brainsurge in that slot to set up Temporal Mastery. Maybe we won't get so flooded this game. We'll see. Mystic Confluence isn't legal, but it would be so nice. Yeah, Songcrafter is a bard. Alright, keeping this. Yeah, Mystic Confluence would be a pretty cool modern card, I think. Okay, thought seized. Zathis, we did that like right as MH3 came out, and it was not very good. Got Thoughtseize into Frog on the play. That'd be tough to beat. Seems they don't always have it, though. I think we have enough 5s in our deck that being able to cast a 5-drop next turn is... Oh, I can't cast it next turn. Well, that's worse. Still cast it a turn sooner, I guess. So the Ugin decks are carding for a Distorting Lens to kill lands with Ugin. It's kind of fun. Okay, Force Pitch Subtlety. We will take that. Bowmaster. Might just flash one of these in and block. We'll see. Drew a Frog. They started to play something. I'm down to 15. Makes sense why they force, because they have the Bowmaster. 1 Thoughtseize. 1 Songcrafter Mage left. Jace not too good into Orcish Bowmaster. I'm gonna plus on myself, I guess, if it resolves. Yeah, we'll put that on the bottom. The rare Jace plus on self, but minusing on the Orc Army could have been okay too. Distorting Lens seems so win more if you land on top of the Ugin Karn games or without Lens. Well, the thing is, it's like your Karn targets are allowed to be win more. Like the win more argument doesn't apply very much to Karn targets because they're just allowed to be, I think. All right, Fire Ice would be so nice, nice, nice. It's a pretty good draw. Let's keep that. It's a 4 of main deck? Okay. I assumed it was a Karn target. Wait, they're not even Karning for one of them? Seems very fun, you know. They're just having fun with my distorting lens. It's where they belong. Okay, I'm definitely playing a Crafter Mage here since they're gonna counter, and I'm gonna keep my Jace alive at 1 loyalty. Then I'm gonna fire both Bowmasters and Brainstorm and flip Tamiyo. Or this happens, which is also a pretty good outcome. Murktide? Frog. Okay, kind of punished for not firing one of these. I guess if I probably want the Lrien Revealed on top, so I could just maybe hardcast that next turn. Is it possible to fit Songcrafter and Coco in the same deck? I mean, it doesn't seem like it really gets supported, but it's theoretically possible with MDFCs, like Lrien Revealed. Yeah, maybe just like Lrien Revealed Coco, and then like one other good spell with Songcrafter is enough. You maybe can play Time Warp. Okay, I'll work on it. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to upkeep the ice. I might probably blocking here. Kind of feel like maybe my opponent has a Murktide, so it's possible that they have some tension between flying the frog and casting the Murktide here. Hear me out, Songcrafter, Coco, Oculus. Yeah, maybe. You have a Harbinger? Harbinger, you know, still does nothing, basically. They discard their own Jace. Had to discard the Jace to kill the Jace, I guess. They fly the frog. Oh. It auto-spent the mana. I would have rather had the green floating because I'm drawing Lrien Revealed instead anyways. Okay. Well, I sure am happy that just resolved. I think they're going to cast a Murktide here, but then I might just bounce it with Jace. And then we might just pick up Fire Ice with Tamiyo to tap this again. Oh, dude! I missed that. I missed this too, that this was going to happen. I get to keep the Mage because of the Tamiyo +1. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I knew that they had this, but they did some like weird pausing. Do I want to cast this Lrien Revealed? Or sorry, cycle this Lrien Revealed? I think no. Well, no, we're gonna have enough cards, I think, to want the extra mana. Kind of close. I don't have another Surveil land either. If I did, it would be a bit easier to just say yes. But their hand right now is just a Murktide Regent. Okay, the Sprawl is on red, so we can't spiral into turn. They keep a card on top. What card would they keep on top here? The problem is they have no good cards in their deck, basically, so I don't know. I don't know. I think I do want to see as many cards as possible, so we're going to start off with the Spiral here. GG. Yeah, Bowmaster is maybe their best draw. They are dead to the warp, though. Oh, you can also minus Jace on Songcrafter and warp again sometimes. Okay, beating Frog feels great. I mean, I think that matchup's not very good. But I could be convinced that if it does end up making you like a full turn faster on average, then it's almost definitely worth it. So something to try. I can make a mental note to take a closer look at Ascendancy and Narset, I guess. So I think I'm going to name blue here. So I could Miracle Temporal Mastery, and I could also go maybe Jace the Mind Sculpting, although I got the Lrien Revealed for that. It's a bit awkward with the... Because I could maybe want to go green for Sprawl plus this next turn. Okay, so maybe we're just going to fire this and play a Sprawl. Seems like the plan. This time we'll name red, I think. People love this card. Ascendancy, Narset, Savines Rex sounds like United Battlefront Brew. Well, Battlefront doesn't hit Narset. So we can stack the triggers that they jump the Voice of Victory here. Might be dead next turn if they have a bombardment. Probably getting at least one more turn in any other scenario. Not quite Kitty's Mustang. That was a good showing, though. Okay, so we don't find a Temporal Mastery, which kind of stinks. Can't play spells on my opponent's turn, so we got to main phase this Growth Spiral. Okay, then we are going to Surveil. And I feel like we need to hit a Temporal Mastery to pop off here. Is this game free to play friendly? Not exactly. So the way Magic has a different client called Arena that is a lot more free to play friendly. I think the overall economy of this client is a little bit better. Also, we might be dead here. Where what a lot of people do is they use a rental service, and if their win rate is high enough, then exactly dead. If their win rate is high enough, then you can make money playing the game, which is something. And you can also sell the cards you buy, which is really nice. You can't do that on Arena, but I'll say that playing the game in that way is not very beginner friendly. And if you're asking that, you're probably a little bit newer to the game. So, at least on Magic Online, you're gonna have to spend some money no matter what, and usually you're gonna have to subscribe to a rental service either from Mana Traders or Card Hoarder. Yeah, Voice System seems pretty nice. Easily my biggest miss from evaluation season. Force for Bombardment Moon. I'm not worried about Moon at all, so I don't think I want Force. Are we revisiting Mono Green Nykthos stuff again? I mean, I played a lot of that archetype. I like that archetype. I'm open to that, yeah. So I named red here, so I can't ice. I was kind of expecting them to play a creature. I could still, play and kill a creature this turn, maybe. So I can flip the Tamiyo by icing main phase. Which doesn't seem great here, I guess. Ice their Parlor on their upkeep. Okay, Jace is great. We can flip Tamiyo and put Temporal Mastery on top next turn. Well. Wait, did I say flip Mastery, put Tamiyo on top? The opposite of that, I guess. Oh, I guess I didn't realize I needed to draw this, but we did draw this, so. Untap Blue Source. They're going to have to do something else to kill Jace, otherwise... Top. Otherwise we get to use Jace again. Maybe we should have put the Hedge Maze back in and planned to fetch it with the Misty. Could have been a bit better. So they take down to 1 energy. They've got 6 cards in their hand. And then the Iteration is their best play? It's probably good news for me. So dash Ragavan, Jace down. We Miracle Temporal Mastery. You know, I'm not going to Songcrafter Mage back Fire Ice this turn. I'd rather get Lrien Revealed if I don't draw anything better this turn. So it costs 5 mana to get back Lrien Revealed. So I could... Yeah, I can Growth Spiral first. Funny. Although we could just cast that next turn. So green. Oh, wait, have I tapped... Oh, no. Tripped up by the Sprawl, I guess. Yeah, I can't actually... do the thing. Because I don't have enough blue. So I'm going to go green. Blue, yeah. Surveil acts like a pseudo shuffle Brainsurge effects. Yeah, I know, but I would rather save the Surveil land. I only have one. You had to tap like that and just played lands first. Yeah, I just shouldn't cast the Spiral though. I should just go on Songcrafter Lrien. I might need to... Yeah, I probably need to Songcrafter Mage the Ajani now. Well... Okay, so if I do nothing... If I do nothing... 11, 10, 8... Seems better to do something. Wait, shoot, sorry. I need... for some reason, I thought I could just kill the Ajani and block, but obviously they just flip in response. So I guess now I ice end of turn? I could fire and I could kill... I could fire both cats, and then they flip a Johnny, and they kill my Songcrafter Mage at the bombardment. Yeah, I think I messed this up. We're drawing a Time Warp, though. Need with the 2 months to go come back. What's my favorite card from Tarkir? It's a little bit early to say. I really like Severance Priest today. I guess Steelcutter is my favorite, though. Steelcutter's been just... a real delight to work with. We do get the Tamiyo back next turn. Alright, so if we draw another Songcrafter, we can deal with the Ajani too. Although this turn, I think I'm just going to go Tamiyo, Lrien Revealed now. Constantly, the Time Warp doesn't do that much. I mean, Time Warp Tamiyo, I guess, doesn't do nothing either. Weird game. Now, they haven't played a lot of creatures this game. They do still have a Ragavan in their hand. So they can kill my Tommy with this with the Ajani if they want. They have another Ajani. Another Ajani kills me almost for sure. Yeah, it's super dead. Alright, tough game. 1-1. Don't know if firing the Ajani, like what that game looks like, especially because like being one card deeper did end up mattering a lot. Probably a matchup where the Eldrazi build is like kind of clearly better. Interesting hand. I guess we put back Island, play Island turn 1, Spiral into Sprawl on turn 2. Wire Visas in the deck. So I think supporting Utopia Sprawl in this mana base is super important because we have a very high mana curve. I think the best way to do that is with Vista, and they also let us play Blood Moon in the sideboard, which is really nice. Lantern. Mountain Lantern. Opal. Some kind of Asmo deck, I guess. Is there a case for playing more interaction main Unholy Heater counters? Not if you want to play this deck, because this deck really needs to be a turns tech. Like, if you're playing all these turn effects, like, you have to like cut this package for the interaction, which is just a different deck that's not very good. Like, I think the turn stuff is, like, in my opinion, the whole reason to play this build. And the whole reason to do Songcrafter. Alright, your turn. Weird sequence. What's your thought process on picking a ramp package? I'm torn between Dork, Sprawl, Grazer Flare. I mean, I guess it's complicated is the short answer. Like, I don't think this is a very good Grazer deck. Where, like, for you to want to play Grazer Flare, you need to either be good at casting Flare naturally, or you need to be good at you need to have like redundancy for things to sack, which we have neither of in this build. Maybe I should have surveilled first, so I don't draw my surveil land. Mana dorks are also very fragile and weak to removal, and Sprawl is the best 1 mana accelerant in the format. It's maybe the best ramp spell in the format, besides Amulet of Vigor, of course. Satoru Gojo, of course. Sprawl is just very good and very resilient. Okay, so they're probably playing the Monument to Endurance deck. It's a miracle. And I only have one. Oh man, it's funny. I only have one Surveil land in the deck because it's pretty awkward. It's pretty awkward with the Utopia Sprawl mana. Although I could just cast this next turn, so I go to 6, cast. Can't quite ultimate. Never mind. There were 3 in a row here. No, Vigor's the best ramp spell in the format. That's what I said. Maybe I mumbled a bit. Streamer luck. So if we draw a Time Warp, we get to do a lot of stuff here. They might have a Lightning Bolt, too. Mono Red Cutter. I mean, maybe they added Cutter to the Monument deck, which actually, now that I'm saying that out loud, Cutter in the Monument deck sounds like it could be very good. All right, so if they have a Bolt or a Blast, they're going to ping the Wrenn here, which they don't do. So I believe my plan here is to just ice as a Time Walk. We're at a fetchable. No, we have Mountain Island. We have like 6 basics in the deck. Could this Bazil support Skimmer? I don't think so. No. There's also tension between Relic and and Songcrafter and Tamiyo. Well, I guess you're already playing Tamiyo. Tamiyo has synergy with Skimmer too. We do have this this Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, Zathis, the worth it is something I can't determine for you. Like, if you feel like you're gonna play all RCQ season, having Tamiyo Emery Mox is probably nice, but worth it is a very subjective thing. But it's very powerful, and it'll likely continue to be powerful for a while. But I don't like to comment on buying cards and stuff in general. But I'll say this: ever since I switched my Magic collecting to be if I need a card for a tournament, I acquire it, and if I don't think about it at all. I feel like my enjoyment with the game has increased. Just saying, if I need a card for a tournament, I'm going to try to purchase it, or trade for it, or borrow it. And if I don't need it for a tournament, I'm not going to think about it. If you never wanted to lose the Titan again, what would you play? Standard, probably. The Ice Slayer Saga on their upkeep. Yeah, Bill, Merfolk. Yeah. Well, you'll still lose the Titan sometimes. They sack Lantern to draw a card. Okay, that's great news. I think now I do want to make sure I don't draw my last island. Well, I guess I have a mountain to fetch too. Yeah, I guess I could have waited. Not really going to matter much. So if they have a monument in their hand, they can start dealing me some damage. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be F6. I've got the spiral. They do have a monument. Okay, another Songcrafter. I have 9 mana here, basically. So I really, I don't have a Time Warp yet. Obviously, just finding a Time Warp would kind of end this. This doesn't flip the Tamiyo, which I also don't think matters that much. All right. Their hand right now is Oval Chase Mystery card. So we might lose. Weird game. So they should almost always be putting me to 10 here. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways they would lose here. Especially with them having double Barbarian Ring. And I forgot they have this coming down. Ugh. So if they just get Cookbook... Oh yeah, we're actually just dead to them going Cookbook double Barbarian Ring meme. Dang. Didn't think we were going to lose this one. Oh, they missed the line. Could still die. I thought Harmonize was like Convoked. And yeah. This taps for 3 mana, which is really, really wild. Like when you're playing a 5-drop, it's like a Snapcaster that costs 2 less, or like a free Snapcaster that has 1 more power and 1 more toughness. So I am dead to Galvanic Blast, but you would think if they had Galvanic Blast, they would have told us about it already. I don't have another Lrien Revealed in the yard to dig a bit deeper, so I think we just start off with this. There's another Lrien Revealed. We haven't seen a Time Warp yet, which is a little bit sad. I think I'm just going to go... Well, I guess... No, this is a better shuffle because I don't lose to Lightning Bolts. And then we have 4 Time Warps in our deck. Here's 4 more looks at 1. That was the last ride. It was fine, but there's just like a million Solitudes when I played it. There are less Solitudes now. It could be okay time to dust that one off, I guess. We have our Infinite Turn combo here too, where we have a Wrenn and Six Emblem. And we just get to go retrace, cast Time Warp, and then pick up a land to cast Time Warp again every single turn. May take our opponent a little bit to figure out they're dead. Or if they Galvanic Blast me, we can lose it. It being the game, I guess. Is the lack of counters because of mana consideration, the meta being self-to-fire, or something else? Yeah, the something else is that we're a combo deck. We're not a control deck. We are trying to aggressively just take infinite turns or chain turns together to actually start taking them, and then you slow opponents down by boarding in cards like this. But this isn't a control. This isn't shitty control with like new Snapcaster. This is taking turns combo, which isn't gonna want you to play a bunch of counter magic. Consign is good against them, countering monuments, and then they've got a good amount of colorless stuff like Cookbook and Opals and stuff. 3. Yeah, great hand. Songcrafter's been feeling very good. It's always going to feel good when you cast these big spells with it. Because it's basically a 0 mana 3/2 that like just flashes back the best spell in your yard. But it only does this on like the 4 and the 5 mana spells, so it's pretty interesting dynamic. They're on a mulligan to 6 here. Thanks, 1982. A lot of people being very nice in the chat today. Suspiciously nice, but but thank you. Okay, they are on the Gardens deck, which I like the Gardens deck when we played it last. They're definitely on one of our more recent lists. In blue here. I'm going to be able to Miracle Temporal Mastery, and I'm going to cast Brainsurge next turn almost definitely anyways. Rockworth to 43, thank you, welcome back. Grafdigger's Cage, so this stops my Wrenn and Six ultimate. I'll have to keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm going to main phase this Brainsurge looking for Force of Vigor. And I guess I'll have to accept double Temporal Mastery on top. Although, maybe I don't put the second one on top now. Because I might want to go next turn. Yeah, I want to go Mastery Sprawl into Jace Temporal Mastery. So let's actually go Island Temporal Mastery on top. Thoughts on value cascading to trigger Corey's Flurry. I mean, every modern player is very horny to play value Shardless Agent. The only time that's ever been good was with Up the Beanstalk, and that's debatably was, you know, what even the hell was that deck? So I don't know. I think I'm not that excited about it. It seems like there are better 3-drops like Narset to play anyways. But it is something to think about, I guess. Yeah, we've talked a lot about Planar Genesis over Spiral. I'm honestly just not the biggest Planar Genesis fan. Where it's like, if you need the land, a lot of times you'll have like lands in your hand, and you need to go like Accelerant into payoff, but you need to take a land off Planar Genesis instead of being able to ramp. So it's not like the biggest deal, but again, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. But in this deck, I just really want to prioritize like that ramp on turn 2, and like you're gonna break on Lrien Revealed like enough of the time that I'm a little bit worried about that. Oh yeah, Cage stops the Songcrafter Mage. Yeah, the Cage stops the Mage, huh? So they needle Jace, which is kind of interesting when they could have just attacked it. But it's pretty nice for them to have this Cage plus Needle set up here. I wonder if they still attack the Jace. No, they let it alive. So extra turn for me. And then let's draw 3. A beautiful nursery rhyme. So we're going to go Brainsurge into Time Warp this turn. Back one Songcrafter, one fetch land. We'll maybe keep other fetch land over Stomping Ground. Although this day, yeah, because we have the other Brainsurge, we should have done that. Although this next turn we get to go Tamiyo, Brainsurge, flip Tamiyo, Time Warp, and then the Tamiyo flipping is going to give me at least one extra turn because I can minus on one of the Time Warps, which doesn't get stopped by Cage. A little late to the party. I do want to keep a Songcrafter Mage to try to, once we find a Force of Vigor, we can unlock this. I think this gives me enough mana to go Time Warp plus Lrien Revealed next turn. Don't think they're going to wake up with Surgical, but they may leave us a nice message in the chat. Something like, hey, I really like your deck. I think it's really cool. Do Tamiyo plus 2 stack? It says until your next turn, so I don't think it works that way now. Alright, draw 3. Running out of gas. All right, there's some more turns. Because the Tamiyo again gets the minus. So I guess I should probably sprawl. Dark Hawk with the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Time to dust off my 2 Jaces. Does Cryptic have any chance? People have been doing kind of okay with Cryptic recently, yeah. Funny enough. Got a chance. Well, that's pretty cool. All right. I think on the draw will mulligan. Although we could, of course, Lrien Revealed for the land there. This hand looks better. On the draw against Energy again, so we lost last time. Okay. Let's play Stevens so we can get basic force next turn, I think. Polite fighting my opponent here. Thanks, Basura. Yeah, I'm probably going to be working on Rec tonight. Wilderness Rec tonight. I'm really excited about Wilderness Rec with the new instant speed regrowth. I think that card seems like it could be very, very fun there. I'm a little bit less like stoked about the Sultai, like look at the top 4, 2 in hand, 2 in the yard. It's not bad, of course. And that deck too, like also just like getting rid of cards in your deck can be pretty nice to get so you start Nexus looping faster. But I'm a bit more excited about the instant speed regrowth. There's a lot of cards that were very hard to evaluate from this set. Instant speed regrowth, I think, was kind of the hardest one. You don't like Rex Bargain? Wow, that surprises me. I mean, it's not that I dislike it. It's just I'm not very excited about it, which is different. It's like Bargain is, I think, marginally better in some decks than Brainsurge or Stock Up. Like some decks will want Bargain, some decks will want Brainsurge, some decks will want Stock Up. There are reasons to play all of these cards. They're good. You can play Bargain. Bargain is fine. But like there's so many more interesting things in my opinion to be working on. Is just what I'm trying to say. You know, there's just many other. Oh, the last card Spyro. There's just many other cards that I'm and strategies and stuff I'm more interested in messing with. Okay, land would be good. I guess it has to be a red source. Yeah, I know it's people are playing that card with Beanstalk in Legacy, which is cool. I agree it's more exciting there. We did draw the red source. I guess no, I should probably play around Ragavan, but yeah, I should probably just play around Ragavan. You know, it's like I think Bargain is probably like the 20th most interesting card from maybe even like 25th from Dragonstorm. Has a deck idea ever come in a dream? Yeah, I can't think of any specific examples. What I've said on stream a few times. This lets me block too. Yeah, I'm not even sure I want to block. I guess we do. I guess we just block like this, and then we should Living In play Bargain. I don't know. It's at the very least again. It's just not that interesting. I think. It's just not something that seems to matter very much. Wait, sorry. I thought they started the turn with 0 energy. I guess not. I guess they still. We could ice into turn instead. Well, it just kind of depends on this exactly. So then they'll ping this, and they have the Season Pyromancer activation if they want it. Yikes. Yeah, we were talking about Temur Warcrier Karn combo today. I don't know if I'm going to get to working on that tonight or not, but I agree it sounds pretty interesting. Okay, probably dead. Yeah, I have heard of blue. Okay, this is the one card that maybe gets me out of this. It's a miracle. Yeah, I know Local Funk, the guy who made Balatro, has a lot of good things to say about blueprints. But I haven't started. Me and us are trying to finish up Split Fiction still. We're near the end. I guess maybe I could have drawn Ice. Okay. Maybe it seems very unlikely to win that game. I guess we weren't actually 0%. Yeah, so the combo is if you have two Temur Warcriers in play, and this is like extra interesting because you can Green Sun for them, and you can maybe Karn for like Phyrexian Metamorph too. You can go 0 mana Karn because all your spells cost 4 less, and then you can go 0 mana Ancestral Statue, and then it's infinite Ancestral Statue triggers, and then you can pick up Karn and you can play Aetherflux Reservoir, and then one other spell is Infinite Life, Infinite Damage, but you do have to have another spell in your hand, which kind of stinks. Yeah, Split Fiction's it's the best co-op game I've ever played. I haven't played a lot, but I thought Portal 2 would never be dethroned as far as co-op games go, but was dethroned. Okay, not a bad Moldifor, but it's still a Moldifor. I guess I keep the Pyroclasm. Yeah, we could play some Besages on the board. I think that would be fine. Fun fact about Blueprints is created by the same guy who made Mythic Spoiler. That is a pretty fun fact. I played about half of It Takes Two and then didn't finish it with Esther because she wasn't as much of a gamer, and then she played it with her brother. Yeah, but now Esther's very good at games. Wrenn versus Ragavan. The more things change, the more they stay the same. So I think they have a Johnny and bombardment, and this is what they're choosing to lead on. Which, of course, works out a lot better for them. Is there a Songcrafter United Battlefront combo? 4-color kind of awkward. I feel like you probably want to play it with Collected Company instead, because you're not 4 colors, and so you can kind of chain some stuff together. I think let's just scoop 2 into Johnny here. Alright. Yeah, just such a tough build of 4. Alright. Playing for the 3-2. Oh, if they ever print a good, like, 8 mana, 7 mana, colorless, like, artifact, I guess it doesn't have to be colorless for repurposing Bay, but an artifact, this would be a pretty big deal for Modern. There are currently a lot of very good ways to cheat this kind of stuff into play, but no, put back the mage, I guess. But there are no like good artifacts to cheat into play. Like Sundering Titan just isn't very good against that much stuff. Mere Battlesphere isn't that good against that much, etc., etc. Songcrafter plus Winter Night Stories plus Coco plus Burn Spell seems okay. Well, it seems like they're not going to be able to facilitate Coco. Uh-oh, opponent is playing Titan. Yeah, Portal to Phyrexia also, it's just not good enough, I think. I've played a lot of Portal to Phyrexia. It's not super far away from being good enough. What are good 7-main artifacts not legal in Modern? I don't know, I'm kind of the Modern guy, but it would just need to be something that's kind of like generically good and powerful, kind of like an Archon of Cruelty. Do you have the Blood Moons and some forces in the board? Okay, while my opponent thinks, I'm going to go use the restroom real quick.
I made chipotle mayo. You just mix chipotle peppers in adobo sauce with mayo. And it's the best thing ever. Okay.
So, not able to cast a Titan with just a bounce land. Maybe a Lotus here. Scapeshift is pretty much 4 mana win the game now. I think maybe in 3 months this will be more. I think people are still a little surprised to see Scapeshift. I don't know if you as the viewer, are you surprised to see Scapeshift as 4 mana win the game? Usually I feel like people are a little bit surprised these days. But I'm not going to sit here and watch this. I'm going to put some Blood Moons in there. Because they used to have 6 mana win the game in Titan. Now they have 4 mana win the game. It's pretty good. That was like 2 months ago. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but I feel like I still just see a good amount of comments about it. I think I'm going to be cutting these because they don't pitch to Force over the Spirals. How do they win with Scapeshift? They make a lot of mana, and then they get Tolarian West for Summoner's Pact, and then sometimes they get the Urza's Cave and do the Urza's Cave loop-de-doops. Yeah, it's pretty good. Canister trying to sabotage the the enemy stream here. I'm going to keep this. Opponent's on the mold to 6. Mold to 5. Mold to 4. They had Scape Shift the whole time. How to become so powerful now? So that is one thing about Scape Shift. I've been musing on this a little bit. Like, I remember Arya Hogpog. She would always play Scape Shift at her amulet builds, and it would always be incredible. I genuinely think it's always been good, but it definitely got a lot better with like Urza's Cave. All right, I guess we keep this, so we can go Growth Spiral into Tamiyo here. So I'm gonna get Basic Forest and Basic Island. I know it's a little weird. I guess I get Stomping Ground, Basic Island. Makes us Sprawl a little bit worse, but it's kind of good to be able to cast Blood Moon if we draw it. And now we've drawn another Vista, so get Forest or Island off that. Island might end up being better. If we could win this game without showing them Blood Moon, that would be great. Yeah, Analyst too, so you can... although Analyst has been out for a long time. But Analyst is important, so you can tutor that with the Summoner's Pact for more deterministic loops. Alright, so flip Tamiyo. Oh, sorry, I have 2. Although the second one's kind of weird. I mean, it's going to just let me take up the Tamiyo again, I guess. What's the thing with Growth Sprout Image 3-1? Image 3-1's just kind of weird if you like need mana and you just brick on it sometimes and you lose because you bricked on the mana, and it can also be weird where sometimes you need to put mana into play, but you have to take a land even though you're kind of flooded. That's at least been my experience with the card. So we get to ultimate our Tamiyo, which is it's a pretty good thing to do. Strong. Another one. So looking for sprawls first here. Just one sprawl? Again, definitely going to try to win this game without showing Blood Moon. Which shouldn't be very difficult, I guess. I do have another Time Warp in my hand, so I can kind of comfortably play the Mage here. Thanks, Chef. I'm having a good day today. I think with 49. Okay, game 3 on the draw. Let's go. Gonna be mulliganing a lot more aggressively this time. Alright, we got a Force of Vigor, we got a Blood Moon. Let's keep. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be forcing just this one amulet right this second. I might force it next turn. Okay, a different green card, which allows me to play Wrenn and Six is nice. Although, so I guess it's probably just supposed to get basic forest anyways with this. Oh, shoot, sorry. Okay, not casting Wrenn and Six this turn. Your turn. Does kind of feel like they have a Besiege You. I did not mean to bend the spiral either. Sorry. I was thinking I was gonna get to draw this and then Wrenn and Six with this as the pitch, but it wasn't even my intention. Sawa, the raid. Hope you're doing well. What have we been playing after Abzan Priest? So we 4-1 with Abzan Priest today. It looked really good. I was really excited about that list. And then this has just been our next league after that. think I might play Sultai Shar the Skimmer after this. I might play the Ugin turns build too. We'll see. Tonight I'm working on Wreck, and I'm working on Dragonstorm, and I guess I need to look at this Karn combo too with the 4/3 that discounts stuff. Now, I'm wondering if it's better for me to get second island, or if it's better for me to get... Okay, well, easy choice then. Oh, shoot. Okay, I guess if I want to get my forest, I have to fetch like this. I could have fetched way better this game, sorry. Might still have been better to just slam the Blood Moon, because now I do open up the possibility of Beseiju if they don't have a forest. Okay, there's a forest. Yeah, one card on top. Lefty with the 32, they go back. And Boss with the 52, thank you. Yeah, I've made a little bit of progress on the Dragonologist deck. Not a ton, but a little bit. Alright, so let's see if they have the Beseiju. Looks like they do. Obviously, I could have played this a little bit, a good bit better. But it does stink to just have your forced Blood Moon draw be like so almost ignored like this. Got pretty flooded. Sequenced poorly though. Yeah, Glass Cannon. Not that like our punts really, like the course of this game really changed that much. Like they had the forest in their hand to Beseiju the Blood Moon if I had played it last turn. We still would have had the forest the same way, I think. I guess we could have Growth Spiraled. But still see the same cards. You could have had a Wrenn close to ulting, ... Could I have? So if I kept the Growth Spiral on top and then I played the Wrenn and Six, the problem with playing Wrenn and Six that turn was like I couldn't deploy Blood Moon very quickly. So I feel like it would have been better to pitch Wrenn and Six anyways and cast the Growth Spiral. Because I had to force the Amulet. And so like I don't think it ever, like even if I was playing right, I don't think it did make sense to play Wrenn and Six on turn 2. Because if I did that, I wasn't able to get basics to let my mana function post Blood Moon. Which is important because you have to kill them after the Blood Moon. I haven't seen these like value scape shifts very often either. It seems like they have Titan in their hand and they're doing this so that they can cast it next turn, which is interesting. Maybe we'll top deck another Blood Moon. Your turn. You just sets up Mr. Beast. That could be the case. My Hedge Maze was really bad too. They got to copy it like 3 times here. Yeah, the problem with Planar Genesis, we've said this a few times, it bricks on a land really often with Lrien Revealed, and also sometimes you're kind of flooded, but you still want to ramp with it, and if you need to put a spell into your hand off of it, it can be a bit awkward. So they Bajuka Bog me, and they grab a Mirror Pool. But they don't have any colorless mana. They have Echoing Deeps in their hand, though. They could just play untapped. Alright, drew another land. Less than ideal. Definitely some timelines where we win this one. Alright, if we find a Time Warp off this, or a Blood Moon, I'm feeling pretty good. Do I want to keep another Tamiyo? Yeah, I think I'll keep another Tamiyo over another land here. Temporal Mastery? Natty Time Warp's not too bad. Just if I can get this Tamiyo ultimate, obviously that's gonna be a win. Okay, Tamiyo ultimate. That should be a win. Funny that I'm just not needing to deploy the Blood Moon. Cool. Cool. So we beat Titan. That's good news. 3-2. Just took 4 Blood Moon into infinite turns. Which is good. All right, so a lot of treasure chests. I'm just going to crack these now. This is my Timmy account, so don't actually get to use any of these. I don't know. I just deposit the play points into the bag. Yeah, officially glass cannoned. Yeah, it was really good that they didn't have the untap land to cast the Titan the turn previously. Okay, so...